well means eating foods of wide variety.
Choose a lot of different foods, don't settle on a few.
Hey, choose a balanced diet if you want what's good for you.
And don't forget that exercise
Completes the recipe.
So eat well and be well, that's the key. Eat well and be well, that's the key.
Oh, hi. I'm Dave Babcock, and you and I are going to spend some time together in the next few weeks talking about what we eat, and why we eat what we eat, and most important, what we should eat, so our bodies will be healthy and grow well. You see, everything our bodies need for health and growth and energy comes from the food we eat and drink. So it's very important to understand, especially starting when you're young like you, just what a good diet is. I mean, we want to be healthy and grow well and be able to play hard and work hard without getting all pooped out, right? Everyone who agrees, raise your right hand. Good. Your right hand. Good. We all agree. Now, though each one of us is a special person and has a different desirable weight according to height and bones, there are certain facts about what foods we must eat that can be helpful to all of us. The first is we must eat a balanced diet, a variety or combination of foods that will take care of all our body's needs. You wouldn't want to grow like this, or like that, or how about like that? Actually, I doubt if any of you would ever look like those drawings, but you certainly wouldn't be healthy and grow well and be energetic if you ate only one or two foods. You see, there isn't any one single food that provides all the nutrients your body needs. Well, I think I just heard one of you say, what's a nutrient? Well, nutrients are special things in food that supply our bodies with what they need to grow, to move around, and to function properly. Everything we eat has energy for our bodies, energy for building cells and for replacing the cells that make up our bodies. We also burn up that energy working and playing and growing. So, what do we have to do? You're right, we have to replace it. And we do that by eating a combination of foods that we call a balanced diet. And we must eat it in moderation so that we don't eat more than we can use and then put on weight. But right now, I want to introduce you to my beautiful mobile. It represents our balanced diet. You see, each one of these is a food group. If I remove one, you see, it doesn't balance anymore. There, it's in balance again. As you can see, there are 4 different food groups in a balanced diet. Actually, there's also a 5th food group, but I keep it a little bit apart up here because it's not part of our balanced diet. It's made up of fats and sweets and alcohol. There are many problems with those foods, so we should be cautious about eating them. We'll talk more about this food group another time. Okay, here we go with the balanced diet. This is the vegetable and fruit group. We want 4 servings from this group daily. This over here, the bread and cereal group. Again, 4 servings a day. This is the milk and cheese group, 3 servings. And this is the meat, poultry, fish, and beans group, 2 servings. Aha! I hear you saying, David is really mixed up. What's beans doing in there with meat and poultry and fish? Well, it's certain kinds of beans. Beans that grow in a pod, like lentils or lima beans, and peas and red or black or white beans. Combined with grain, these beans, and they're called a legume, become a complete protein and can be used in meals just like meat or fish or poultry. So, that makes 4, 4, 3, and 2. And that's our theme song for a balanced diet. Here's a little song about that called 4, 4, 3, and 2. 4, 4, 3, and 2. You gotta know what it means for you. 4, 4, 3, and 2. You gotta choose what is right for you. You need 4 different servings every day from the bread and cereal group. And you need 4 more servings every day of vegetables and fruit. And you need 3 more helpings of milk and cheese, foods from the dairy scene, and 2 more helpings, however you may, of poultry, meat, fish, or beans. And that makes 4, 4, 3, and 2. You gotta know what it means for you. 4, 4, 3, and 2. You gotta choose what is right for you. Well, 4 times a day you need a cereal or bread, rice or cookies to eat. And then 4 times a day you need an apple or pear, peas or spinach or beets. And 3 different times you need yogurt or milk, cottage or some kind of cheese. And twice a day you need chicken or meat, tuna, fish, or beans if you please. And that makes 4, 4, 3, and 2. You gotta know what it means for you. 4, 4, 3, and 2. You gotta choose what it means for you. Yeah. 4, 4, 3, and 2. Okay. Now I'm going to show you, I'm going to play chef. I'm going to show you a day's meal that will add up to 4, 4, 3, and 2. You know, our balanced diet. And I'm going to tell you about moderation. That is, what's a proper serving, starting with breakfast. Here we go. Orange juice and cereal. A 1/2 cup to 3/4 of a cup is a serving. The fiber in the cereal is good for you. And be sure to pick a cereal that doesn't have sugar added. You can put raisins or sliced bananas on it for the sweetness and for more nutrients. Then, you pour milk on it. 8 ounces is about 1 glass is a serving. Now, on to lunch. See, we've worked on exercise all morning, so we need a fresh supply of nutrients. Aha! A tuna fish sandwich. It's a national favorite. It's got a slice of tomato in it, and an apple, and milk. See that? We've got 1 from each food group. This is good if you brown bag your lunch. Of course, if you eat in the school dining room, they'll offer you a healthy variety, so be sure you take advantage of it. Okay, now, afternoon snack time. This is a time for making wise choices. My choice for a snack, instead of a sugary or a fatty food, is a refreshing tasting frozen yogurt with fruit in it. Satisfies my sweet tooth, too. All right, now it's dinner time. Oh-ho, what have we here? Makes me hungry, huh? And notice the size of the servings? We have chicken and carrots, rice and salad and berries. About 3/4 of a cup of carrots and about a 1/2 cup of rice. Some of you with smaller stomachs may fill up faster. Some of you can eat more. But these servings are about right for most of you. Oh, also, be sure that you vary your vegetables and fruits. Different ones have different nutrients, and the variety will give you all the ones you need. Here's my last nibble and sip for the day. These cookies have good grain in them, and there's nothing like a nice cool glass of milk to provide me with sweet dreams. Well, there it is. 1 day's menu. And it adds up to 4, 4, 3, and 2, and a little bit more. Why don't you work up some daily menus? You can make a chart like this. Show them to your family. Get them all in the habit of 4, 4, 3, and 2. Well, now we're going to settle down and get acquainted with some really delightful little creatures who have never known food as we know it. They were born and raised on an enormous space station, a zillion miles on the other side of the Milky Way. Nothing grows there, so no one eats or drinks anything. They get their energy from very scientific, supersonic kind of refueling. Of course, that wouldn't do for us. Are you ready? Here we go. Pan, Chip, and Rabbie come down to Earth. One day, not so long ago, Pan, Chip, and Rabbie were given permission to take a space buggy from the schoolhouse power pod, provided they stay within the magnetized field. It all went fine until Rabbie took over the controls. Well, I'm going to make us go in a bigger circle so we can see that shiny star over there. At first, it was exciting. Then it got scary as planets and stars zipped by. They got so busy trying to get back on course, they didn't notice a big, hazy green and blue ball ahead of them, till they got so close they could feel themselves being sucked towards it. They were entering our Earth's atmosphere. Swoosh! And then a big jolt. And everything stopped and was quiet. What on earth do we do now? Said Chip, without even knowing he was on Earth. Oh dear, Pan sighed, his hands over his eyes. We have to find out where we are, Rabbie finally decided. And with that, she went to the porthole and looked out. Wow, she said. And without waiting, she blew open the hatch. Chip and Pan finally followed her. Of course, Rabbie immediately decided she wanted to explore, and Chip and Pan wanted to find help. So they all skimmed off across the landscape. It wasn't long before they started getting hot and tired and terribly in need of refueling. They weren't able to skim anymore. They had to walk. They were walking right through a beautiful vegetable garden, and they didn't know they could get lots of helpful nutrients from the vegetables. They didn't even know they could drink from that clear brook rippling by. I have to rest, Pan said. Me too, Chip just managed to say. Rabbie squared her furry shoulders and puffed out her cottontail to give herself courage. She did feel responsible for the mess they were in. I'll be back very soon, fellas, she promised, and bravely hopped off to get help. It got darker and colder, and scary things were all around. Why, you're a lost tame bunny rabbit, you poor thing. Rabbie didn't understand what the pretty tall creature said, but the sounds were gentle and she felt less scared. What's your name? My name is Mary, and you can take the place of my white lamb who's gone off to raise her own family. Mary held out her hand, and after a second to think it over, Rabbie took it. Maybe this creature could fix a space buggy. This is where you'll stay when you're not with me, in school or playing, Mary said. Don't be scared. And here's a carrot. All bunny rabbits love carrots. But Rabbie wouldn't eat it. What a strange rabbit, Mary thought. So she took a bite of the carrot herself and chewed it and swallowed it. It's good, and it'll make you feel better. I'll get you more stuff. And Mary left. Rabbie thought of her mother and father worrying about her, and of her 63 brothers and sisters, and all of her friends. It was dark and cold, and she was hungry and thirsty. But still, in spite of everything, very curious. All right, she'd chance it. What a strange experience. Her first taste of real food. It was crunchy. It tasted sort of nice. She took another bite, and then another, until she'd eaten the whole thing. It was amazing. She felt perkier, clear-headed, more cheerful, as if she'd been refueled. It made her wonder about eating. And then she thought, because she felt so lively, that she could hop over the fence. But she couldn't, and she realized she was definitely stuck there. Rabbie tried not to be scared and to believe that Chip and Pan would come to her rescue. But they were still pooped out, wishing that Rabbie would come back and help them. And so ended the first day the 3 small space visitors spent on this Earth. Chip and Pan have a lot to learn about how to take care of themselves here on Earth, don't they? Can you imagine never having tasted food? Especially when we have 9,000 taste buds on our tongue with which to taste food. What's important to our diet is to eat the proper variety of foods so we can enjoy all the nutrients our bodies need. 4, 4, 3, and 2. You gotta know what it means for you. You have to choose your food so you have a well-balanced diet for good health and good growing. Remember, you've got only one body, and it's got to last you your whole life. It's a very special body. You're a very special you inside of it. So why not start taking good care of yourselves now? Okay? Okay. Eat well and be well, and I'll be seeing you soon.
Eating is a key to be healthy as can be.
And eating well means eating foods of wide variety.
Choose a lot of different foods, don't settle on a few.
Hey, choose a balanced diet if you want what's good for you.
And don't forget that exercise
Completes the recipe.
So eat well and be well, that's the key. Eat well and be well, that's the key.